peoples off the tube. Now, I've been thinking recently about more Doctor Who numbers. So this is Doctor Who numbers 3. Doctor Who numbers 3. So previously I did a video covering how many series of Doctor Who we've had, new series, per 3-year chunk. And then I did another video about how many episodes and how many minutes of Doctor Who we had per 3-year chunk. And that was all very interesting. But then I had another thought. So we're all still waiting for Doctor Who, and we don't have much longer to wait. It's starting in about 4 weeks from yesterday, assuming I put the video up today. It's about 4 weeks until Doctor Who comes back, and it's been a little while. We last had Doctor Who on the 1st of January this year with Resolution, and between that and the upcoming episode Spyfall Part 1 is 364 days with no Doctor Who. And that's quite a while. It's quite a long time to wait. But it's not the longest we've ever had to wait for Doctor Who. And today we're going to be oversimplifying the numbers just to get a sense of what the longest Who-less gap we've had is. So what I'm looking at today is years in which there has been no Doctor Who. It has, to fit into this criteria, we have to have a full year from January the 1st to December the 31st with no episodes of Doctor Who at all. No Doctor Who. Zero. No Who. So I'm going to be kind of picky here because, for example, between Series 22 and Series 23 of the classic series, there was a 15-month break. That's like a year and a bit. But Series 22 ended on at the end of March 85, and Series 23 started at the beginning of September 86. So 1985 and 1986 both had episodes of Doctor Who. So there's no, although there was more than a year off, there's no year without Who. So let's ignore that. And also in the new series, 2016, we had one episode of Doctor Who. This year, we had one episode of Doctor Who. But we did have an episode of Doctor Who. So these years have not been episodes. So it's entirely within the wilderness period that we're going to be having a little look at today. And obviously that, 16 years between December 1989 and March 2005. We had 16 years nearly with no new series. But we did have some Doctor Who in that period, and I don't just mean the TV movie. So let's just break down the 15 years. I know I said it's a 16-year gap, but obviously year 16 we get Doctor Who. Year 0, Doctor Who. Year 16, Doctor Who. So the 15 years in between, let's take a look at them. So Doctor Who went off the air at the very end of December 1989. If it had gone on for, well, I think it was actually the beginning of December. If it had gone on for a couple more weeks, we'd have had some in the 90s. But it didn't. It got cancelled. It's very sad. So we begin our search proper in the year 1990. There was no episode of Doctor Who in 1990. 0 episodes. So that is 1 year. Okay? 1991. It's still off the air. No episodes. So that's 2 years. 2 years with no Doctor Who at all. 1992, a very, very nice year. A lot of exciting things went on. A lot of very special people got born that year. But sadly, no episodes of Doctor Who. 3 years, 1990, 1991, 1992, with no episodes. 1993, Dimensions in Time. And yeah, I'm counting it. It's an episode of Doctor Who. It has the Doctor in it. It has many Doctors in it. Is it canon? Debatable. Maybe not. But I'm counting it. Dimensions in Time counts. There's an episode. So we reset back to 0. 1993, there was an episode of Doctor Who. It is not a Who-less year. So moving on. 1994, no Doctor Who. A Who-less year. 1995 is another Who-less year. So that's 2 Who-less years. 1996, we get the TV movie. And it is generally considered canon. I consider it canon. It's canon. There's too much stuff that's tied it into other things. Like, before the new series started, you could have debated it. I think the fact Sylvester McCoy was in it, it kind of had to be canon. So, yeah, even if it hadn't been, it's Doctor Who. So, we reset down to 0. So we had a gap of 3 Who-less years, then we had an episode. Then we had a gap of 2 Who-less years, then we had an episode. This brings us on to 1997. No Doctor Who. 1998, also no Doctor Who. So that's another 2 Wholess years. 1999, and yes, I am counting this, The Curse of Fatal Death. Some Doctor Who. It's not canon. It's not canon at all. But it is written by Stephen Moffat. It has Roy Skelton doing the Dalek voices, and it's quite good. It's not perfect, but it's got one of my favourite masters. I'm counting it. It counts. I'm counting it. There it is. Doctor Who, The Curse of Fatal Death. So we're back down to zero. So we had a gap of 3 Wholess years, then an episode. A gap of 2 Wholess years, then an episode. Another gap of 2 Wholess years, and then an episode. And that takes us on to the year 2000, where there's no Doctor Who. And obviously I know by this point Big Finish is going. They started in 99. Despite the fact I'm not counting them, it has to be a visual episode. You can watch it. There is sound and moving visuals. I'm also not counting the webcast version of Shada or Death Comes to Time. Or, you know what, maybe I should count these. I'll maybe go back and work out when they happen. Death Comes to Time and the Cyberman one with Colin Baker. I don't really want to count them because they're not quite episodes. They're almost episodes. And this is going to sound kind of hypocritical because, well, you'll see why in a minute. Anyway, the year 2000, no Doctor Who. The year 2001, no Doctor Who. The year 2002, no Doctor Who. So that's 3 years with no Doctor Who. Then, in 2003, I told you it's going to seem very hypocritical. In 2003, we got Scream of the Shalka, and I am counting that because it's proper animation of the same quality we saw on the Invasion DVD. It's the same company made it. Not quite up to the Invasion standards, but it is enough that the characters' mouths move. There's proper motion. It's proper, fully animated. It also stars the Master Derek Jacobi as the Master. It's not canon, but I count it. So 2003, yes, there was Doctor Who. That was in November to December of 2003. Then 2004, we had a single Wholess year. By this point, we kind of knew Doctor Who was coming back. 2005, we're back on. 2016, we have 1 episode. 2019, we have 1 episode. They're not Wholess years. So that's it. That is our Wholess year breakdown. We've never had more than 3 years with no Doctor Who at all. If we're going to be pedantic and count the Paul McGann Shada and Death Comes to Time and Real Time, then 2001 and 2002 are also not Wholess years. I mean, there's only like a little bit of Death Comes to Time in 2001. The rest of it was in 2002, and all of Real Time was 2002. So, if you want to count those, I'm not sure if I do or not, then that's only a gap of 1 Wholess years. But either way, the record is still 3 years. We've never had more than 3 consecutive years in which there is no Doctor Who episodes between the start of January and the end of December. So that's some Doctor Who numbers. I hope you enjoyed those. Obviously, this is oversimplifying it. We've had what time of year does this start, what time of year does that finish. There are gaps that are slightly longer or slightly shorter than each other, but for the purposes of this video, those are the years. We have 11 or 9, depending on what you count. Obviously, if you don't count things like Dimensions in Time and Scream of the Shalka and the Curse of Fatal Death, then your numbers are going to be different. The record is, that would be 6 and 8 if you're not counting some of those smaller things. But I do count them. I'm just trying to be inclusive here. So that's it. To my counting system, we've never had more than 3 years with no Doctor Who. Fortunately, since the series has come back, we've not had any years with no Doctor Who. We've had years with not very much Doctor Who, and that's not been great. I mean, I prefer years with a fair bit of Doctor Who. The more Doctor Who, the better for me. But we've not had any with none. So that's nice. Hopefully we won't anytime soon. Obviously next year we're getting 10 episodes, maybe 11, depending on when the special's going to be. So yeah, those are the numbers. Those are the Doctor Who numbers. Come back next time if I think of more interesting Doctor Who numbers to talk about. Until then, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.